Hi everyone, it's Michaela. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today I have my second Walt Disney World resort review video. Over the summer I did a Caribbean Beach resort review video, but today we are reviewing Pop Century Resort. I just recently stayed in Pop Century when I went to Disney World just about 3 weeks ago, so it is all still fresh in my mind. Just like my last resort review video, it's going to be broken up into different categories, such as the resort itself, my room specifically, and some pros and cons about the resort as a whole. Diving headfirst into the resort. So Pop Century is a value resort. For those of you who are not familiar with the Disney resorts or the kind of lingo that goes around with them, there are 3 different tiers of Disney World resorts. You have value, moderate, and deluxe. I've never stayed deluxe. That is a dream, but you know, a girl can dream. That will not be happening for quite some time. But the value resort that I recently stayed at was Pop Century, and Caribbean Beach Resort falls into that moderate category. Now, the pricing is what makes them value, moderate, or deluxe. Obviously, deluxe is the most expensive. That's where you get the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian. A couple moderate resorts are Caribbean Beach Resort and French Quarter, and some value resorts are the All-Star Resorts and Pop Century. Pop Century itself is located in the ESPN World Sports area, so it's very, very close in proximity to Art of Animation and both to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And the resort itself, much like Caribbean Beach Resort, is split into different categories, but rather than being like cities or different countries, they are different decades, hence Pop Century. So it is split into the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s building, with the 60s building being the preferred rooms. The 60s is the preferred area because it is an ideal location in proximity to the Skyliner and everything Pop. And I think they might be a little bit bigger. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. In terms of dining at Pop Century, you do get less dining options at the value resorts rather than the moderate resorts. Most moderate resorts have the quick service along with a sit-down restaurant, but at Pop Century there is only a quick service and a bar service restaurant. The quick service is called Everything Pop, and it is located in the, I forgot their version of it, but I think it's the main hall, something along those lines. But in there you have Everything Pop, the gift shop, check-in, DVC information, and everything that you would find in any Disney World resort lobby. At Everything Pop, they have everything. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They also have dessert. They also have some grab-and-go options as well. So that includes like overnight oats, maybe a sandwich or two, but mostly all of their stuff is quick service to go sit and eat it at the tables in there. Their bar service is called Petals Pool Bar, and by the name you could tell it's located on the pool deck. And I did not try anything from there other than a virgin pina colada with raspberry like sorbet in it. I'm not a drinker anymore. I've been sober for almost a year now, and I didn't eat any food there because when I was hanging out at the pool, I just wasn't hungry. But they have like ham and cheese sandwiches, Greek salads, and anything that you would find at a pool bar, kind of munchy snacks. And they also have a variety of different alcoholic beverages to choose from as well. Other things having to do with Pop Century is you have 2 forms of Disney transportation. One is the Skyliner and the other one is the buses. When you are booking this, just keep in mind that you do share the Skyliner with Art of Animation, but Pop Century has their own buses. I did not have a problem with either forms of transportation. I went during Christmas, so I went during the busiest time arguably for Disney World, and I think out of all the times I took the Skyliner, I think 2 times I had to share one, and the rest of them I had my own little gondola, and I never waited in a line more than 3, maybe 5 minutes tops. And same thing for the bus. I said in my Q&A, if you're a family of 6, this may be a different story, but being a solo traveler, I didn't wait for a bus longer than 10 minutes. If that. Sometimes I didn't even wait, I just walked on. So if you're worried about the transportation for the Skyliner or the buses, I wouldn't worry too much, but that is what makes Pop Century such a popular value resort, is you get all of these amenities such as the Skyliner, which is arguably the best Disney transportation, and the buses all at a value price. Moving on to my room specifically. So I was in the 70s area in building 10 and I was on the 4th floor. I did not pay for a preferred room. Honestly, I don't mind walking places, so I do not think I will ever book a preferred room unless it's a very good deal. But I really liked my room. Inside was a generic room. It had a beverage cooler, a coffee maker, but it did not come with a microwave. Now I have heard if you call down to the reception desk, they can bring up a microwave if they have one available for you. I didn't do much eating in my room. I didn't spend much time in my room either, so I didn't have the need for that. But one thing to keep in mind is value, and I believe moderate resorts as well have beverage coolers, not mini refrigerators. So I believe they cool down to 40 degrees. So that is not ideal for keeping things such as milk, yogurt, or anything of that sort that you need to be in a fridge. It's just meant to keep sodas chilled or apple juice chilled. Because I didn't book a preferred room, that means I just had the standard bed and the standard room. I believe it's a queen-sized bed. I think. It's definitely big enough for 2 adults to share. And I also had that trundle bed that folds down. If you guys want a better look at what the room actually looks like, I did a room tour on Disney Day 1, so you can go ahead and check that out. I will have it carded up here for you guys to be able to click and watch that. That just stayed up the whole time, but theoretically you could fit 3 to 4 people in this room if you had 2 adults and 2 kids, or even if you just went with you and a friend, you each get your own queen size bed. Being in the 70s building, I was pretty much in the middle of everything. It was about a 2-minute walk to the Skyliner this way and a 2-minute walk to Everything Pop this way. So I was in a pretty desirable area. Granted that I wasn't in a preferred room. I loved my room, I loved the location, and I really don't have any complaints in that department. My biggest request when I was checking in on the My Disney Experience app was that my room was ready early. I landed at like 8:30, which means I got to Pop probably a little after 10 a.m. I did not want to have to worry about putting my bags in bell service. I just wanted to immediately be able to go to my room. And when I got to the resort, my room was not ready. And when the person getting off of Mears kind of asked me for my information, what I needed to do, they said, okay, just go ahead, go inside and check in. When I talked to them, my room was not ready. And then I went inside and talked to one of the cast members that actually checks you in. And they said, okay, your room is ready. My room was ready within 3 minutes of walking into the main hall. So their cast member service is amazing. And if you request your room to be ready early, although it is not guaranteed, it depends on who's checking out, what time they're checking out, etc. But I was very happy with that request being fulfilled. A couple more things about the room itself. It only had 1 sink. Now, when I stayed at Caribbean Beach, we got a king-sized room, which meant we had a bigger bed, but we also had 2 sinks, which was really nice when there's 2 people trying to get ready in the morning. However, since I was 1 person, I only needed 1 sink, so that was totally fine. I don't think Pop Century has any double sink rooms, but it could be wrong. Correct me if I am wrong. And my room also had lots of storage. If you guys watched that room tour, you guys will see there is more than enough storage for at least 4 people for that room. Like I said, whether it be 2 adults and 2 kids, you guys are gonna have enough storage for everybody that stays in that room. A lot of people wanted to know about the pricing of my room at the time of year that I went. So the dates I went for was December 6th through December 11th, and I had a 3-day park hopper ticket. I paid $2,006.95. Now that is not including Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. That is not a part of the package that you can buy when you are booking a room at the resort. You have to pay for that separately. That was about $200, but for my park tickets and my resort room, I paid just over $2,000 for 5 days and 6 nights, or 5 nights and 6 days. I always mix that up. Now that we've gone through the resort as a whole and my individual room, we are going to dive into some pros and some cons about Pop Century Resort. Spoiler alert, I have one con, if that gives you any indication on how much I like this resort. The first pro is you have easy access to the Skyliner. Now, I heavily emphasized my love for the Skyliner in my Caribbean Beach Resort review video, and I'm gonna do the same for my Pop Century one. I love the Skyliner. I think it is the best Disney transportation, and if you think otherwise, you're allowed to have your opinion, even though it's wrong. I just think it gives you such easy access to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, and not only the theme parks, but the surrounding area as well. If you want to go to the boardwalk, you don't have to hop on a bus to Epcot. You can just hop on the Skyliner, and it's literally like a 5 to 6 minute ride. So it's phenomenal. If you have a stroller, you don't need to break down the stroller. And there is no better feeling than having the gondola to yourself. I can film a couple TikToks, I can take a couple cute pictures without anyone judging me. I got my resort mug and I'm vibing. So that is the best thing about Pop Century, hands down. And I am surprised that the resort does not cost more given just the Skyliner access we have. The next pro is, even though it is a value resort, you definitely get the bang for your buck, and this resort has everything you could possibly need if you are looking into a value resort. Obviously, it is not going to have the same amenities as a deluxe resort or even sometimes a moderate resort, but for what you pay, you're definitely getting your dollars worth for this resort. You have a really nice pool, you have decent food, although the variety and the quality of the food is questionable. I said in my Q&A that although Pop has a big variety, some of them were hit and miss, but in general, there is something for everybody at the food court area. Another pro is my room was ready immediately when I got there. I know some Disney resorts are a little smaller. They don't have the number of rooms to be able to accommodate that. But with Pop being so large and having so many rooms, they are able to accommodate a lot of those requests, which I love. The last pro I went into a little bit earlier in the video, but it's about the buses. I heard a lot of negatives about the Pop Century buses. However, I had an amazing experience with my buses. I didn't wait longer than 10 minutes for a bus, and sometimes they were full, sometimes I had to stand, but being a solo traveler, I did not have a single problem with the buses. I probably just had good luck. Like, I'm talking about, I didn't check the bus schedule. I would just show up to the bus stop, and within 10 minutes a bus would roll up, and it was really great to not have to wait that long. And even going from the theme park to your resort, the buses weren't full. Even after leaving right before the fireworks for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, or leaving when it was downpouring at Animal Kingdom, I didn't have to wait for those big bus crowds because they just weren't there. Now moving on to the one con that I have, and possibly two, I might have thought of another, but the first con is this resort is so confusing. I was getting lost even on day 6. So I definitely got lost every day, and it was a little frustrating, but it's just so intertwined with each other. But I eventually figured it out, and I definitely had to be paying attention to where I was going. At Caribbean Beach Resort, you kind of were able to navigate very easily where you were going, but Pop Century, total opposite. I got lost going to the pool. I got lost going to Everything Pop. I got lost going to the bus stop. And that's just the one con I have. It's a little bit of a maze walking through there. The last con, I don't even know if I can consider it a con, but this is a very popular resort. Now, given everything that I have told you guys throughout this video, of course it is going to be a very popular resort because you get the bang for your buck and you have a lot of amenities for that dollar that you are paying. But the con that comes with that is it can be sometimes hard to book a room. I had dates in mind that I wanted to go when I switched my dates from October to December, and I couldn't go for the whole extent because they didn't have enough room, or I only had to stay for 3 days in this room or in 2 days in another room. And I finally found a set of dates that actually worked, but it took some like finagling with my travel agent to make that work. So I guess that is one more con. You definitely have to book far out in advance if you're going on a longer trip. I think if you're going 1, 2, maybe even 3 nights, you can probably find a room pretty easily. But if you're going for like a week and you want to plan a last minute trip, I don't think you're gonna have much luck finding a room at Pop Century. That was all of my thoughts about Disney's Pop Century Resort, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And while you're out down there, hit the big red subscribe button down below as well so we can grow our happy little corner of the internet we have here on my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.